Welcome to class 21 of business environment. In this class, we'll study regarding the Companies Act. Okay. So Companies Act. This act was adopted to regulate the functioning of joint stock companies in India. So here what happens? Whichever joint stock companies are there, so, to regulate the functioning of this joint stock company, to see that these companies are going to perform in the way that is been, or we can say the way in which the company is to go, or in simple we can say what are the provisions, whatever is given in the Companies Act, the joint stock company should follow it. And the Companies Act see that whether such provisions are being properly followed or not, which means whatever functioning they are going to do, it should be according to the Companies Act. Okay, so there are some objectives. It says that to ensure healthy promotion of management of companies in India. Ensure healthy promotion of management. What is this healthy promotion and management of companies in India? So when the company follow all the provisions which are given in the Companies Act, it means you are going legally. So when you move or function or activities of your business or the company is legal, it says it is healthy. So healthy promotion and management of companies in India. The next says to ensure fair disclosure of all reasonable information of the company. So it says that whatever information the company has regarding its returns or regarding the alteration of memorandum, it may be alteration of your articles, it may be regarding the meeting, so everything should be fairly disclosed. So what you normally you are going to give the information in the prospectus, right? And going through that prospectus, the shareholders or the investors attract towards your company and invest their money. Okay, so what it says, whatever information you are going to put it in the prospectus means just the invitation to the public to subscribe the shares. Okay, so whatever information you are going to put it in that prospectus, so that should be legal and it should be proper. So it should not include any unethical practice. So you should disclose all the fair and material information, so in the prospectus. So the next is effective participation and control of shareholders in the affairs of company. Effective participation and control. So what is this effective participation and control means? So the shareholders are the owner of the company, so they are going to participate in the company, they are going to control the company as the owner. So affairs of the company will be under the shareholders and it will be regulated by Companies Act. The next is protection of investors interest. So why investors interest should be protected? So investors are going to invest their money and they are bothered about, so whether the money which they have invested is proper or it is utilized properly or not. So you have to, so protection of interest, so investors interest will be ensured by the Companies Act. The next is to investigate affairs of the company. So why investigation is necessary? To see that whether there is any unethical practice, whether there is unfair trade practices, so to know that and to take an action against such practices, so Company Act is going to work here. The next is powers of Company Law Board. So powers of Company Law Board here is, one is memorandum, alteration of memorandum of association. So before moving to alteration of memorandum of association, so we should know what is this memorandum of association. So memorandum of association is nothing but, so we can say it is the first document, so where the company is going to prepare at the time of formation of the company. Okay, so memorandum is a fundamental or the basic or the most important document of the company. So what it contains? So it contains the nature, objective of the company. Okay, so the memorandum of association means the origin or the company as a original framed, so which cannot be altered time to time. So everything will be there in the, or the nature object of the company will be there in the memorandum of association, and you cannot simply change or alter the memorandum of association as you want. Okay, so this is been prepared by the promoters of the company at the time of promotion, because in order to get your company incorporated you have to submit some documents to the registrar of the company, and this is one of the document called as memorandum of association, and which cannot be changed again and again. Suppose you want to alter it. Okay, suppose you want to alter the memorandum of association, so it is said that you should take the permission of company law board. So there are various clauses in the memorandum of association. So various clauses like your name clause, liability clause, object clause, then the capital clause, subscription clause, register office clause. So all these things are there. So each clause or alteration of each clause in the memorandum of association has its own process. Okay, so own procedure to alter it. So you have to get the permission from the central government, so you have to get the approval from the company law board. So all these things is to be done. So company law board has the power to alter the memorandum of association. The next is powers to issue shares at discount. So shares at discount means, so whatever shares you are going to issue, so we are going to issue at the less than face value. So discount means less than face value, and who has the power to issue the shares at discount? So the company law board is going to give the permission, right? So they have the power. The next is power to order meeting. So power to order meeting means, so to hold a meeting the company law board has a power to order it. Okay, so by the saying of company law board, the company directors may arrange for the meeting. It may be your extraordinary general meeting. Okay, the next is, it says the functions of registrar. So registrar is the official, or the official who is going to keep all the records of the company. Okay, so here the collect necessary documents from the company. So what are these necessary documents? So necessary documents, as we have studied, necessary documents which you have to submit at the time of formation of the company, so such as your memorandum of association, articles of association, so then the notice and address of the registered office, so forms relating to the directors like list of directors, written consent of directors, underwriting of directors, statutory declaration. So these are the forms or the documents which the company at the time of registration they have to file it with the registrar, and the registrar is going to collect this documents and keep it and preserve them for inspection. Okay, so he is going to inspect that, he is going to keep it with him. So it is a duty or the function of registrar. So the next is ensure prompt functioning of company. So what is this prompt functioning of company? So whatever decision taken by the company will be there in the resolution of the company. Okay, so resolution what we are going to pass it in the meeting. So this resolution will state, or this is the decision where we can say based on that the company is going to follow its activity. So it is compulsory for the company that they have to submit the resolution whatever is passed in the meeting with the registrar, and the registrar is going to ensure that whether the decision taken by the company and the functions which will be carried out by the company is fair or unfair. And the next is scrutinize the return submitted by the company. So scrutinize means the inspection, we can say investigation, inspection. So you are going to find it in detail, so that we call it as scrutinize. So you are going to scrutinize the returns or the records what is been submitted by the company. Okay. The next is your MRTP Act. So MRTP Act is nothing but your Monopolies and Restrictive Trade Practices Act, we call it as MRTP Act. So this was passed to control the effects of your monopoly and restrictive trade practices. So monopoly means a single seller, right? So to control the single seller's practices, so this act was passed. Okay, so there are some objectives. So before that we should know what is MTP. MTP means monopolistic trade practice. So monopolistic trade practices, what happens here? Here you are going to increase the price of the product or services by restricting the supply of production. So as we know, when the supply is more, the price will be less. So here what happens? You are not going to supply more. Why? You are the single seller, you are not going to supply more, so which means you want to increase the price. Okay, or you are going to prevent or lessen the competition in production or distribution of goods. As you are a single seller, you do not have a competition. Okay, the next is limiting technical development or capital investment to the common determinant. Okay, limiting technical development or capital investment. So if you want more technology to be adopted and if you want to provide the consumers or the customers with the good quality product, you have to adopt the technology, and adopting the technology is not so easy. So adopting the technology needs huge investment, and you don't want to do that because you don't want to invest. So what you do, you are going to restrict the technology because you want to, or because it will lead to the heavy investment. Okay, then what are the objectives of MRTP? MRTP says controlling the monopolistic restrict trade practices. So monopolistic trade practices like single seller practicing or practicing the unfair trade practices like increasing the price, lessening the competition, or not adopting any technology and all. So such things will be controlled by your MRTP Act. So regulating restrictive and unfair trade practices. So such trade practices which are not legal, such things will be restricted by the MRTP Act. Thank you.